Good morning. It's Monday. We are in the midst of a snowstorm. It snowed all night and it's going to be snowing lighter, I guess, throughout the day. Lots of accumulation. I haven't gone out yet. That's what I'm going to be doing next. But first, I wanted to give you an update on what I finished this weekend, my progress on my projects and what I'm going to be working on this week. So first, my loom, my placemat loom. This is what I got done last week, and I will be working on this side this week for an hour. See how much of that I can get done. I also was able to work on my Beauty All Around sashing blocks, which look like so. I got the I had 15 blocks that I made this last week, and then last night I got the center circle there hand appliqued down. So that means I now have 50 sashing blocks completed. Need 144. So that will be an ongoing project. It seems like I get between 10 and 15 done a week. So this will still be a while before I get 144 accumulated for that. I also am working this week. I'm working on the first quarter UFO challenge project that I'm doing with Crazy Moose Fabrics. I did the January UFO project, got that completed. So then I moved on to the first quarter project to do for the rest of January. So I'm doing an hour of that. So I'll have an hour of that I'm doing this week. And I spent yesterday and the day before Saturday for the weekend, since they had my hour done with everything, I continued working on these half square triangles for this. 200 of them. So I got them finished trimming them out last night. I have a sore shoulder, which you'd think, what? Why would you do? I have no idea, but anyway. So I will be working on the next step of this week for an hour. And then once this week's over, I won't be working on this again unless I get my February UFO project done. And I won't find out what that is until Sunday on the 1st of February. So I don't know if I will get back to that first quarter project this quarter, or that might end up being a UFO for next year. We'll see. I did get my small project done for the week, which this week, which is the coriander Cali Co quilt. We had cut off the corners of all the blocks, and then Corey Yoder said she was going to show us a small project that we could make with that. So she did do that on the 17th. She shared with us her pattern for that. And then I saw some other people who made theirs, and I liked the way they did their setting of those blocks. And so I didn't go with the Corey pattern. I did make a table runner, but I went different. And then I used scraps from the quilt to make the backing. So the backing's very scrappy. Here's the backing. And then here's the front. Here's the front of the table runner, and I'm very pleased with the way this came out. It looks so complicated with all of those background stripes. I did quilting inset from the seams, since there's a lot of joining pieces in there in the seam, inside the seam, so I did not do any stitch in the ditch. I just did straight line stitching elsewhere, which you can see I think a little better here where I did the stitching. So this was fun, and it's complete. So now I'll be moving on to my next small project, which is going to be making this tree skirt. So I'm going to be making, I have 2 panels for tree skirts, 2 different ones. And I had made this one previously for my daughter. And then I had made a green one with snowmen on it for my son. And I think I'm going to be doing pretty much straight line quilting on this one. And then I think after I get this done, for my small project, I'll be working on the other one, the other tree skirt. And then I can give her a choice of which tree skirt she wants. Because she always has two large Christmas trees in her house. And she has been using this one. And they're in different buildings. So I want to give her a choice of whether she wants the second one like this or she wants to have the other one. So I think my next 2 projects, small projects, will be doing the quilting on these 2 panels. So this is going to be the first one. So that's my project for my small project. That's the next one that I'm working on. I don't have them anymore because I gave them away, but my bag making project was the Lori Holt zippy bags. And I got the 4 large ones completed and gifted this weekend. And I had a wonderful time with my friends. We had our stitching day, and we had our Christmas party yesterday, and it was wonderful where we exchanged gifts and sewed and just had a good time communing. The community with quilters is just wonderful. So since that's completed, I'm now going to be working on the Bloomberry by Minky Kim panel. And it's this. And there's, with this 1-yard panel, you make Little Friend zipper pouch, Trixie zipper pouch, Simple zipper pouch, coasters, a sewing tag, and mini patches. The panel size is 35 inches by 42 inches. And those are what the projects look like. And this is what the panel looks like. Now, I've had this since December of 2024. So I think it's time for me to make this. This was a project bag that was in the Advent box for Softsquares in their 2024 Advent box. And with this panel came a package of fusible fleece, a project bag that everything was in, two zipper tapes, a zipper, and then it has zipper pulls. This bag has zipper pulls, some tags, a tassel, and some charms in it. So everything you would need for this bag. I, however, think I'm going to replace the fusible fleece with some by Annie foam, I think, to make it, I like the stiffness of bags that have by Annie foam, and it appears that in the instructions for this, they're mentioning soft and stable. So I think I'm going to make mine with soft and stable and then just set aside the fusible fleece for another project. I got this sewn together. This is the center flower for the Jane Austen quilt. So I got that part made, and I'm going to be, for my hour this week, working on the other parts of the Chadwick block, which is the center block. So I have them sewn together. I just have to cut them out and turn them and press them. And then once that's done, I can start working, placing them on my center block, I believe. So I will be working on that for the Jane Austen this week. And for my slow stitching journal this week, I'm going to be working on this block. I'm going to be practicing some stitching on various locations on this side. And I think I'm going to be, for this side, I'm going to be making maybe a four square grid, like This one was 9 square grid. And I think I'm going to do a grid like that, only 4 squares. And then I have some flowers I want to try making. So I'm going to be practicing making some embroidered flowers in those for the other side of this block. And then after I get that done, then I have this block that I'm working on. And then there's another page in my project box that is blank, and I think I'm going to do another grid on that one so I'll have 8 flowers different flowers that I could practice making on those pages. So that's the plan for the slow stitch journal, but I'll only be working on that for an hour this week. And I think I'm going to, for the hour on the Cali Co 2025 block of the month, I think I'm going to find batting for the rest of the blocks on the quilt and get them sandwiched, see how far I can get on that. Since I will be looking for backing and batting for the Christmas tree skirt, I think I will at the same time, since I'll have the batting out, I'll do the batting for this too. So that'll be all sandwiched and ready. And then I only have to do getting the batting out once instead of having to do it again later. So that is my update on all my projects for this week. And it's going to be a wonderful week. I have a lot planned. So between snow shoveling, I'm going to be working on these wonderful projects. So let me know what you have going on. Also, so let's make a bag. If you're a subscriber, they sent out the email last night to us with the link for us to pick our fabric color, our colorway, and they have 4 colorways in this this time, and there are 2 projects, and these projects probably when I get them, which is March, it's the March box. Once I get those projects, they're going to make it to the top of my bag making line, because I'm going to be using those for when I'm traveling to Pennsylvania. These are going to be so handy for traveling. So those are going to probably go way up to the top of my bag making list. They're going to bump a lot of other projects out of the way so I can get those made and maybe start using those for my travels. So I'm excited about that too. And my colorway, wait till you see my colorway. I love it. Of course, you know what colors are in it. It's going to be awesome. So from what Mark at Let's Make a Bag has said, he was sending us out the choices for the subscribers for our colorways so we could choose them last night. And then in a week, he will be sending an email out to all the rest of the people on the wait list. So the wait list people can then choose what's left of the colorways. They're fun colorways, but for me, there was no, the last box I had to think about, the different choices for the colorways, because I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, this one, but for this one, there was no second thoughts. I knew this was the one I wanted. So that's exciting. So if you're on the wait list for the Let's Make a Bag, you won't be getting your email until a week from now from Mark Shotwell. And then there's a link in the email that he sends you. It's like a PDF kind of thing. Anyway, there's a link in there that you click, and then it takes you to the site, to the website, and you're able to subscribe to the box and then pick your colorway. But he has the instructions in the email as to what you need to do. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great week ahead, and let me know what you have planned for this week. I'm going to be getting lots of cardio with shoveling snow, and then coming in and resting and doing some sewing to relax. All right. Have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.